My name is Denis Quebec. I am 27 years old, 9 of which I am a professional soldier and firearms training instructor. I served in the Special Operation Forces but had to retire due to injuries. I also worked in a PMC in Afghanistan. When the full-scale war began, I returned to the front lines, and now I am heading to one of the hottest front lines, Kreminna, where the legendary Azov is stationed, to talk to fighters, visit their new positions, and analyze their latest operation in this patch of the front line. As you can see, we are in fact right now in Kreminna. You can witness the scale of intense battles currently taking place. All the trees have been chopped down, shattered by shrapnel. The trenches are dug in sand. The terrain is sandy, so they get filled in. Intense shelling is happening on regular basis. For several months now, Azov has been fighting near Kreminna, and it's an entirely different battlefield compared to the dense urban environment in Mariupol. Now Azov's positions are in the forest. On this part of the front line, the Russians have concentrated over 100,000 soldiers and around 500 various artillery systems. This is approximately the same number of troops that the Soviet Union operated during the entire Afghan war. Combat in the forest is a unique skill and experience, because there are battles at sea, battles in cities, battles in forestation lines, and then there are battles in the forest. But before the whole brigade had to take up positions, Azov soldiers forced an extremely difficult task, despite the enemy's numerical advantage. In military terms, it sounded like this.
On August 23rd, we conducted a pre-planned offensive operation with elements of raid actions, aimed at improving tactical position on the defense line of one of our battalions.
Simply put, the Azov soldiers had to strengthen the front line.
The task was set by the brigade commander Friend Redis, and it was to secure more advantageous positions and halt any further enemy breakthrough in our direction. Therefore, we needed to impose our game. We needed to counterattack.
Before the attack, the enemy's position was surveilled using drones and ground reconnaissance. Then the Azov commanders developed a plan for assault actions and practiced it during training exercises.
During the preparation, we created complete terrain mock-ups. We also practiced assaults on trenches, dugouts, and other scenarios on training grounds. Additionally, we honed our ability to manage groups using UAVs.
Such preparations are important not only because of numerical advantage of Russians. The enemy is capable of learning and can be extremely dangerous.
They have eyes in the sky at all times. When we arrived, I thought they would have some kind of tactical smoke breaks when they wouldn't fly. But it was like a carousel. One drone takes off, and as soon as it runs out of power, another one replaces it immediately, allowing it to return for charging. They continuously observed everything.
The thing is, on this front there are elite landing troops, the best motorized infantry units, and fighters from private military companies.
I had a funny moment when we evacuated the wounded, around 5 in the morning. The sun was just rising. We were driving, the sun was shining through the pine trees, and I said, "Damn, it's so beautiful in here." And that's when the shelling started. Nah, it's not that beautiful. Let's go. The enemy snarls, the enemy is tough and doesn't match the delusional image created by the media. We've had direct firefights with them, and they're quite serious guys. Overall, it was an interesting experience to engage in combat with them.
Azov fighters constantly master attack and defense actions at training grounds with all possible weapons.
Is everything clear? The first group advances, the elimination subunit deploys to the front, engages in combat, and begins to withdraw in rapid bursts. The machine gun engages at the same time.
Coherence of actions is the key to success. All the fighters who participated in the operation were divided in advance into several assault groups with different tasks.
Every group had its own task. One of them had to carry out raid actions. The second group had to execute a distraction maneuver. And the third one inflicted the main attack on the enemy's positions.
At first, the brigade artillery covered the enemy with fire. After that, the assault troops went into battle.
The fighters were not just motivated. They had a burning desire to kill the enemy.
In the end, the operation to strengthen the front line was successful. Azov soldiers stormed 4 enemy's positions at once. They managed to eliminate 13 enemy soldiers, 12 were wounded. and 2 were taken prisoner. As a result of the offensive operation, they were able to improve the tactical position to depth of 400 meters and 500 meters along the front. But the confrontation continues.
And the youth from Azov not only keeps the defense, but destroys the enemy and performs assaults under such circumstances. At night, it's epic. Kremlin.
Azov continues to fight despite everything, from experienced veterans to very young fighters.
Cliff, 20 years old.
How many days are you at war?
I came here for the first time. The first time on the front line, but I have been there with the guys for 3 days.
Do you realize that you are actually in one of the hottest spots in the world?
I'm proud of it. We're all like a family here. We boil in this together. Here, you truly understand what brotherhood is. And the values here are completely different.
Azov continues to defend their land. For them, this war lasts to the victory, which they will undoubtedly achieve.